What is up, people? We are back for another Heart of Thorns guide. Today's focus is Elite Specializations, and we are going to look at the Druid, right here, sexy man. Today, I'm going to admit, right up front, I do not Druid a lot. I don't Ranger a lot. I don't usually play the Ranger. The only reason I kind of got intrigued by the Druid is because of this over-obsession it has with healing, and it was kind of nifty to have a healer class, so I decided to look at it a little bit, mess with it. Not really as useful now as I think it's going to be in the raids, as it's supposed to be in the raids, but I have tampered with it some. And I've obviously played with other druids that are healing. My biggest gripe is, I'm all about people playing how they want to play and doing what they want to do, as long as it doesn't slow down everyone else. And by slow down, I don't mean speed up the dungeon, I mean we all die because you're being an idiot. So, that said, I tried to build this guy as I was playing him. I wanted him to be a healer, because if he's not going to heal, I don't even feel like playing the ranger that much. So I wanted him to be the healer, but I also didn't want him to be a total fucking waste of time other than healing. So I've kind of come up with this build. We're in PvP, we're going to test it. I had this open. I do, my gear, the gear I would use in dungeons with him or in raids is Clerics, which provides power, toughness, and healing power. Obviously, at least you'll do some damage. You won't die, and obviously healing power makes sense. For runes, I don't have them unlocked in PvP. I use the runes of Altruism, which give me healing power, and when you have all 6, healing skills grant Fury, and they grant Might. So I'm trying to not only heal, but kind of be supporty at the same time, which makes sense in a obvious way. For my traits, obviously, like I said, take this with a grain of salt. I don't play the Ranger that much. And obviously, blueprints, I've never said these are end-all be-alls. This is how I've built my Druid. Obviously, for Druid traits, we took Cultivated Synergy, which is using a heal skill, heals around you and your pet. Now, I'll say this right now, most of the time, if I don't need to have a staff equipped for healing, and I can achieve it with just what I have, I will not use a staff. I will have my longbow, and I will have a melee weapon equipped. Right now it happens to be a greatsword. Usually it's a sword and an axe. No, yeah, sword and axe are usually the ones I tend to use, but I only equip the staff when I come up with a situation where I know we're going to need the extra heals. So that being said, healing allies around me makes sense. Reduce recharge of glyphs, which I do sometimes use even though I don't have any equipped right now. Activating a glyph plants a seed. The seed, you can see above, does some healing and blindness and removes condition, so good condition removal if I use a glyph. Grace of the Land, allies you heal with Celestial Avatar abilities gain increased damage. Again, trying to help my allies out. This does stack up to 15% condition damage, assuming and regular damage, so... And this is outside of Might, so this is nice. Obviously, I have Skirmishing. This allows me to have the Spotter trait, which increases precision by quite a bit for everybody, as long as I'm close by, which I usually am. I don't usually tend to dodge a lot, because I do have Predator's Onslaught, which gives me extra damage when there's one here that gives me extra damage while Endurance is full. This Steady Focus. But when I do have to dodge, I do, and the Endurance Regeneration brings this back really quickly. And then I have Quick Draw, which just lets my skills recharge faster when I swap weapons, which I tend to do quite a bit if I need to go in and out and in and out. So I already talked about Steady Focus. Predator's Onslaught increases damage when there's a movement impairing ability on the enemy, which someone's always got Chilled or Immobilization or Cripple or something on them, so keeping this up is just extra damage. And then Call of the Wild to get Fury, Might, and Swiftness to nearby allies when I swap pets, which I don't do a ton of, but in certain situations I do a ton of. So, all the sense in the world that makes. I already talked about the gear. For weapons, like I said, right now I have the greatsword. I'd normally be using probably sword, axe, and I do have my longbow in the background here. So if I need to be far away with this, I can be. Obviously, my rapid fires. Sometimes I'll use a short bow too. I switch weapons quite a bit as well, because I don't know them well enough, and I like to learn the ones I can to figure out what the hell I'm doing. Mainly, if I do need to heal, if I do need to really heal, like really, Celestial Avatar's not enough, I do equip the staff, because the staff is pretty much all heal skills, with the exception of Vine Surge is more condition removal, but healing. So if I do need to heal, I have this equipped. I'll switch it, and I'll heal with that. I do tend to keep the Tiger out. The Tiger does grant Fury every 10 seconds, meaning I can pretty much have constant Fury on all my allies. When I do need to switch, I switch to my Moa, and the only time I ever switch to it is because we're dying and I need to use its heal and its protection for the allies. From there, I do tend to use Healing Spring, which heals me. Place a trap that grants regeneration and cures conditions on allies, and it also gives a water combo field for more healing if we need it. I do switch this out quite a bit. Sometimes I use the Glyph of Rejuvenation. Sometimes I use We Heal as one. I've pretty much... Sometimes I actually... Which one is it? I'll just use Troll, this one, whatever the hell you say that last word. Because with my healing with my staff, I don't actually need another healing spell. So just having the health per second is nice. Frost Spirit. Chance to give bonus damage to nearby allies. 75% chance to grant 10% damage. Extra bonus damage to everyone is nice. Protect Me I use because it breaks stuns and also gives me protection with my pets, so I don't take as much damage or any damage. That's more of an oh shit button than anything. Search and Rescue is just when I have an ally downed. My pet goes to heal him, then I don't have to. I can focus on healing other people. And then Spirit of Nature, obviously, is a healing type, and I can revive nearby downed allies. So if all hell breaks loose and I need it, there it is. So, I do switch these skills out intermittently, and I don't do a lot of damage, but the nice thing is, if I'm in the group and I'm healing, I even tell everybody, if you don't deal a shitload of damage, and there should not be really, in 5-man dungeons, more than one healer is unnecessary. This is like overkill to an extent. But it is nice to have a healing class, I'm not going to lie about that. It gives kind of a new aspect on the game. Hopefully when the raids come out, they'll be more useful than they are now. But they are still fairly useful as long as, you have those people who build soul healer, like no damage, no anything else. At least I have Spotter and some other things to help out with the damage of the group. Constant Fury, try to build some might. So I'm trying to do other things other than just sit there and look pretty and heal. This isn't World of Warcraft. There isn't really a holy trinity, so though healing is definitely a huge support utility, you need to balance it out. You're not always going to be healing. I love the healing build, but I also tend to try to have it more of as a backup when I know the fight's going to be tough. I switch to my healing build as opposed to my normal damage build. But that's it for this time, guys. Like and subscribe for more content. Leave comments with questions and tips for other players. Like I said, Ranger is not my strong suit, so a lot of you will have more to put to it than I will. Feel free to take this build and test it out, and I will see you guys next time.